Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, folks. Michael Zuber, one rental at a time, back with his good friend Millennial Mike, and we're going to do something we rarely do and talk about one of my books,
Yes.
15 Conversations with Real Estate Millionaires. How you doing, Mike?
I'm good. I'm good. And I'm excited to talk about this because it was me telling you we don't talk about your second book enough. Your first book is rave reviewed all over Amazon. Your second book needs the same love and attention, but we just never talk about it.
Yeah, it's funny when I go back and think about when One Rental at a Time came out, it's all I had, so I talked about it every day. Now you have, 9,000 videos, of course, and you're helping people. This book has been, I've ignored it to its detriment. And it really became obvious to me when we were at our event in Fresno, right? I had a off the cuff 5 minute kind of out of body experience where I shared with the audience that this book was written for them, right? 15 Conversations was with Real Estate Millionaires started with a simple idea. I remember the first 3 to 5 years of my investing journey at night, reading about 30 pages of a book by Gary Keller. I think it's called Real Estate Investor Millionaire or something. It's blue and white. Do I have it? I used to have it here. I don't see it. It's probably in my other office. Anyways, at the end of that book, there's about 35 pages of investor stories. They're a page and a half, but I wore those pages out. So when I started this book, 15 Conversation with Millionaires, I wanted to replicate that, but I didn't want a page and a half.
Mm-hmm.
So I wrote a book. This is a hard copy version with 15 different stories because you just never know what story hits home. So I know you've read it. I think anybody reading this book, you're not going to like all 15 stories. You're not supposed to. You're supposed to find your 3 or 4 and just keep reading. What did that resonate with you?
Yes. And I'll tell you, when I read through the book, so the way the book plays out is this. You come to a new chapter, it's a new person's story, and you get a little synopsis summary about who that person is. But then what you get is Mike has transcribed YouTube interviews he's done because he's interviewed every single one of these guys and gals. And he transcribes the interview with their questions and things like that. And then he has another summary on the back end of his takeaways and his key points. And you will go through and be like, oh, man, I don't know if I would have been that guy. I think it was Jason Pritchard who you interviewed, who was like, he burned the bridges. He sold everything, took all his money, put it into real estate and was like, well, I guess I sink or swim. And I was like, oh, man, Jason's braver than me. But you know who I love? Anna Kelly, Greg Dickerson. I like the stories of started very young, had things not go in their favor. Anna Kelly, single mom, lots of kids, had to figure out how to do it by herself. Greg Dickerson started in construction, building. I started in construction, building. He's like a young guy when he did it. So was I. So there's stories you can relate to. There's people that you like to hear from, people that you see on the channel. And it's just a really good book. And you're not going to love every chapter. I love Meet Kevin's story. He's become a bit of a goofball at times now, but his original story and his 203K loan story. It's fantastic. And it's inspiring. And Meet Kevin was 19 when he got his first property. Yeah. That's very impressive. And so there's somebody in this book for every investor or want to be investor. And so that's why I think more people need to read it.
Yeah, what I thought I would do here is just go through each of the 15 guests just with the titles. And I don't name anybody because I wanted the stories to resonate, not somebody buy the book because somebody's name. So was it right or wrong? I don't know, but it is what it is. Guest number 1. He starts part-time, quits his job before going full-time. Kind of my story. Kind of a lot of stories. Quits W-2, understands freedom number, and now traveling the country. Shout out April Crosley on that one. Mm-hmm. How about executing the BRRRR strategy with a full-time job and young kids?
Yeah. And time consuming.
Yeah, that sounds heavy. How about BRRRR is sold as easy, but it is a really risky for first time. This is a guy who's done hundreds of BRRRRs, but he's like, dude, it's being sold as, easy, and it's not. Mm-hmm. Number 5, out-of-state investing. Mm-hmm. Number 6, Dave Ramsey, fan and fire movement. We had a fun conversation. Number 7, how strong is your why? Buys a $2,000 mentoring course and dives in. Back of the room, baby. Go to the back of the room.
That's a lot of people. Yeah.
Bets on himself, starts a business from scratch. Mm-hmm. Greg Dickerson. Use first-time buyer program to get on the property ladder. 203K loan. Meet Kevin, chapter 10. Yep. The grass isn't always greener in other markets. You can go broke buying cheap.
Mhm.
Oh, this is the one that hit me. Consider selling your portfolio when you turn 70.
Yeah, I remember that part.
Focus on property below the median, right? How to protect yourself. Wealth is created via buy and hold. And then the final chapter, number 15. HGTV makes it look
Mhm.
so easy. I remember a couple
Mhm.
sitting on the couch going, "Hey, honey, let's flip some homes." So again, there's a story in there for everyone. I did, I spent, I don't know, 100 hours going through my 8,000 videos or 7,000 videos, finding the 15 stories that made sense. Um, yeah, I put my blood, sweat, and tears into this book. Yeah, again, the first book, One Rental at a Time, was written for me. It just was. I had to get it out of me. The second book was purposely written for the audience, because I know people need to believe it's possible. The first 3 or 4 years are hard. So this book is meant to keep you in the fight, keep you in the game. So that's why I wrote it. Um, if you want to get it, it's on Amazon, self-published on Amazon. If you have bought it, do me a favor. As you saw, one of my goals from a previous video is 5-star reviews. We only have 42 reviews of this.
Hmm.
And I think that's my fault. I've never asked for them. So if you have the
Right.
book, write a review. I would greatly appreciate it. I think I'm trying to get to 100. Maybe it's 200. I forget now. I should probably know, but help me out.
And if you want to listen to the book, as I almost
Oh,
always exclusively
yes.
listen to books now, because in my opinion, reading is slow and I like to be working and listening. Dion from Dion Talk has
Yes.
narrated the second book and is in the process of narrating the first book. So if you have Audible and you want to listen to the book, you can listen to Dion.
There you go. Yeah, Dion, man. That was an adventure, right? He got like 10 hours in and then he had to start over because the quality wasn't there and Audible was picky. Then we get it done for Audible and they want this and that. He really fought. He fought this thing and he got it done. So
Yeah.
yeah, shout out Dion.
Mhm.
Thanks, buddy. I appreciate you, Mike.
Thank you.